worst dad of all time. I'm going with Abraham. As in the original Abraham. I mean, literally was ready to sacrifice his child for a voice that he was hearing. DADCLUB, Dad Club.
What?
Hit him with the welcome to Dad Club. I'm Jay.
I'm Greg.
We meet here every week to talk about being a dad, to vent and breathe and brag and figure out how to do this thing called being a dad. If you're a dad, you are literally already in the club. Welcome to Dad Club. Let's start, as we do all weeks, for the 3 weeks running, the question of the week. This comes from an email. We did receive 2 emails this week.
Yay.
Shout out to both award-winning emailers. The first was from an anonymous mom, which we'll read in a second. The second was from someone named Rayhan, who is from Bangladesh and wants to help us with our YouTube thumbnails.
Ooh.
He sent us a YouTube thumbnail. We'll put it on the internet, and we'll see what people think. Let us know if you like Rayhan's YouTube thumbnails and if we should employ him. He seemed like a nice guy. He said he really liked the podcast. I think it was probably like an AI email service, but you never know. An anonymous mom wrote us, and she wrote, "What are some great ways to support your wife postpartum?" That was the question of the week.
Yeah, I'm glad we have moms listening. I know my mom listens.
I don't think mine does. I did the Survivor podcast for years, which is like a pretty big show. We had millions of listeners, and my mom never listened to a single episode. Like not one. She's like, "No, I don't like Survivor because of spiders." And I was like, "Mom, there's like no spiders. It's a competition show. It's a reality game show." She's like, "It's just too much outdoor stuff for me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, they're outdoors. They have to survive in the wilderness. That's the whole point." And she's like,
"Don't worry, there's no spiders."
I'm not interested. I was like, "Cool, just your firstborn son. Love that you support my endeavors." Anyway, we received this email. What are the greatest ways to support your wife postpartum? And first of all, I just want to say this email is a trap.
It's a trap. That was exactly what I was gonna say. This is a trap.
Yeah, this is literally the most double-edged sword thing I've ever been asked.
For all the wives of ours that are listening,
to both of our wives,
I don't claim to be perfect, and I can come up with a lot of really good ideas for this question, but that's not to say that I've done every single one of them myself. But maybe I will now because I'm saying that they're good. And that right there is the trap of this question. But I am excited to go through these.
Let us just say that this is by no way an exhaustive list of the things that one should do.
Can I ask a question though? Postpartum, the postpartum period, are you thinking of it as just what, like a few months after?
This is why this question is a trap. I don't know.
Because isn't it much longer? Like I think like we're in it still right now. I think it's like up to like what, a year or more, like almost 18 months, right?
That's how science defines it, or
I think it's different for everyone, but
this question is so fucked up. We're just gonna lose no matter what we do. We're just gonna get killed here. Like, even just talking about it, that we don't know what it is we already lost.
I know. And we're gonna have there's a lot of things that we'll now be expected to be doing as well, like all the time, right? At home, because I'm pretty sure my wife listens. She listens about a week later, so she's like usually an episode behind.
This is a deep tease, but I'm very excited to introduce a new segment that you thought of that has to do with both of our wives. That's coming at the end of the pod, so make sure you listen all the way to the end because it's probably our best new segment of all time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's high praise coming from you, Mr. Million listeners on Survivor podcast.
Let me tell you a secret, Greg. They were not coming for me. They were. I was not the draw.
Cool. Priorities.
I would say, in my short-term brain, or in the way I was framing postpartum, was 3 to 6 months or so. This could be wrong. CDC, cancel me, whatever. But obviously the wife has to do a lot of the heavy lifting from a if you're breastfeeding from a feeding perspective, if she's pumping, if she's not, even if she isn't, like there's so much mother-child bonding that needs to occur, and really like being the ultimate support player, the ultimate kind of like how can I come in with the assist, whether that's like with a pacifier or a diaper change or a I'm going to do the earliest wake up or the middle of the night feeding or whatever it looks like. Those are the ways that I tried to be at the top. And then the other thing was like household, taking care of everything you can possibly take care of, doing all the dishes, making sure there are meals. Like I'm a big cook. So like I was cooking for me, for Robin, for our baby nurse, like just trying to keep life like good and easy so that they could focus on the momming of it all. And then also being the best dad you can in the time that you have to do it. Those would be my two like general tentpole ways to do it. But again, I think that anonymous mom really, I'm sure I did not answer this question adequately, and I apologize to you and to my wife and every other mom in the world.
Well, I do think you said something about it. This is a really hard question to answer generally for everyone because one of like if we're talking about, those first few months, right, where this is prior to any potential sleep training or sleeping through the night, right, where you're needing to be up with the baby like throughout the night. Everyone is going to approach that differently. Some people are going to say, "Hey, we only want to breastfeed," and it'd be
Right.
really hard for you to do what I'm about to suggest, which is something that I found to be a really huge relief for Emily during this time, which was like make it so it doesn't all land on her to do those really hard things at night, right? Because that's the hardest new thing, right? Like being up all night is such a stressor. And yes, you're running on adrenaline and all these things, but you know, we were using bottles, right? So, breast milk
Yeah.
in bottles, for a lot of the time. So obviously we as the men folk cannot help with producing the milk, but we can help in administering it if you're willing to use bottles. So you would switch off throughout the night who would wake up at each point. And I think just even something as simple as that goes a long way, right? Like trying and it doesn't have to just be, the night shifts. Being able to take some of those feedings off of the mom's plate, I think goes a long way.
Yeah. Totally. Totally.
And then another one is also small is like, I think some guys, it doesn't come as quick, at least for me, like I had to change a couple diapers before, but like if you see something, just go do it, right? Like
If you
just
see
go change
something,
the diaper.
don't say something. Just do it.
Yeah, don't say it. Just go change the diaper, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. If you smell
don't wait to be
something,
asked, just like, "Oh, I
don't
smell
tell
this," or "I
something.
saw" yeah, like, just go do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, a really good theme through a lot of tasks is don't wait to be asked, and I'm not my wife is probably gonna be laughing hysterically at this because I have to be asked to do things all the time. It's gonna happen, right? But try to do your
Yeah.
best. Try to
Yeah.
do your best to get ahead of it, right? And to do things without needing to be asked because a lot of this comes really naturally to mothers and it's hard it doesn't come as naturally to guys, right? Because we basically just had to have sex and get the Tdap. I was one for two
Which
on those.
nice,
Um,
nice, nice.
and,
Strong.
uh, and and meanwhile, the mom has to do a million things, go to a million doctor's appointments. They're learning every single thing about everything. And just be like
Just be
nice.
better. Be better
Be
at
nice.
being
Be
yourself
nice. Tell her she looks beautiful. Um, all the time. There's
because
you
she is
can't say it
beautiful, not
enough.
because you're just saying it.
No, because you actually feel it, but, like, a lot of
Yeah.
times, I mean, I am guilty of this, like, sometimes and I've even been told this already by my wife that, like, I say a lot more on this podcast sometimes than I even do in conversations with her, and so I
This
think,
is
like,
actually the
it's
most that two men have ever spoken to each other, this
yeah.
podcast. It's there's never been more words exchanged between men than here.
Yeah, and so just because you feel it, you know, you should make sure you're saying it.
Like I said before, you just be the utility player. Do everything you possibly can to get everything around her and take care of the baby as much as you possibly can. And there is no enough. Like there is no enough. It is a stressful time. It's a really scary time. It's also like the most incredible time. Try and have fun if you can. Life's fun. Having a baby's fun.
Yeah.
Waking up every 3 hours can be fun if you make a game of it. I don't know. I don't remember. I blacked out. It was awesome. If you have a question or a comment or a complaint for Dad Club, you can email us at hi@dad-club.com. We will read your emails. We would potentially put you on the show. Shout out to Anonymous Mom and to Rayhan. I hope that we get more than 2 emails this week. Let's see what happens. Time to talk about dad stuff. Greg, what are you dadding about this week?
So, speaking of how to support your partner, one of the things that Emily actually suggested, my wife, this past week was, hey, we each value our weekend mornings, and since we only have one child right now, we're playing a nice zone D, right?
2-on-1. 2-on-1.
A little 2-on-1 action. What what she suggested was, hey, if you take Saturday, I can take Sunday, and so we're talking about in the mornings, and so this was an awesome suggestion by her. It sounds so simple, but it's it will allow, Emily to have some time to sleep in or do Pilates on a Saturday morning. I'm up anyway, basically really early always, so it doesn't matter much to me. And we've talked a little bit about this already, but I am training for a marathon right now, and so she offered this, and I think it sets up perfectly because Saturday is a an off day for me and my training. Sunday is always the big long run. It's the most important run of the week. And so now I feel as though no matter what's going on, we should be able to make time for each other while also, doing the things that we love, and that we want to do for ourselves. So yeah, I don't know, Jay, if you guys have any sort of like built-in planning
We don't
like
have a
this that you do,
formalized
or
plan. I have some friends who are, who have one kid, and they have had a lot of success with us with a trade-off plan. We do try to trade off as much as we can in mornings like this because, I think for a lot of reasons, doing fitness in the morning is just like it sets up your day in such a different way. If you don't work out in the morning, for me, at least personally, I'm like sluggish or I'm feeling a little heavier or whatever. And then to get to the gym afternoon or evening is so hard because you want to spend bedtime. Now it's 8 o'clock. It's like, do I want to have dinner? Do I want to like go do a late night gym? Probably not. So the
yeah,
morning is
the
really the
the
time.
late night gym just doesn't work anymore.
I mean,
It's
listen,
not
it was
feasible.
cool. It was cool when you were a single guy and you were gonna maybe go late night dinner, maybe go on a late date, maybe you just like wanted to get one more pump in. You're doing 2-a-days because you're trying to get your fitness right. I totally respect it. But if you're a dad and you're at the gym between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., what the fuck are you doing? How did you do that? Your wife is at home with your kid, feeding them dinner. There's red sauce and pasta everywhere. And here you are, like doing bicep curls. Get out of the gym, guy. This is not for you.
Yeah, no, you can't do it then. You you could do it after they go to bed if you have like a home gym or something like that. But then
Yeah.
again, like you've got the
You're killing the
entire
time with your
stress of the
wife.
day. You have the entire stress of the day, and you're not gonna be able to watch any shows or eat a legitimate dinner. Like,
Like, Silo
if you're
is back
gonna
on
do it,
TV. You got to be
yeah,
watching Silo. You can't be trying to get a pump in.
yeah. So I think you see a lot of this on social media. It's the dad hours of like 4:30 to,
You
6:30
observe
AM.
dad hours better than anybody I have
Yeah, I
met in
do,
a
but
long time.
I do. It's hard. Like, it's really hard. I think you can get into a rhythm with it, and it starts to work a little easier, but actually getting up when the alarm goes off with a 4 in front of it's still difficult.
I can't do it. That's insane.
And look, I can do it during the week, but I cannot do it on Sunday, right? Like, I can't do it on Sunday morning, right? And that's when I have to do this long run for my training right now, and you gotta give yourself a little bit of a break. So this way that we're splitting up the weekend mornings, was was such a great suggestion. Thank you very much, Emily. And yeah, I'll report back on how it goes in practice. But um, yeah,
Yeah, I look forward to hearing about it. I think it is tough to do something consistently unless you're a consistency type of group. Like Robin and I are much less, hey, let's make a plan and execute it every day. It's much more like, hey, she woke up. Hey, can I go to Pilates? Hey, can I go on a run? Can I go to
yeah,
the gym? Do I have a morning meeting? Do you have a morning meeting? And we kind of just fly by the seat of our pants, and it tends to work for us. But I do think that in general, being courteous and being generous, and Robin's gonna be laughing her ass off because she thinks I definitely just do whatever I want and don't take her schedule into account as much as I should. But I think trying to be as communicative as possible. The other thing that we've done recently, which I think is a cool move, a cool parent move, really cool actually. Uh, I'm being facetious. Is we send each other calendar invites for like stuff we have to do.
yeah.
Like in the evenings. Robin will send me a calendar invite for like if she's going out to dinner, or I'll do the same if I have like a late recording or if I'm going out to dinner or what have you. And that's actually super helpful because it's like one of us knows that the other one needs to come home and relieve the nanny, or maybe we're gonna agree that the nanny's gonna stay late night and we're both gonna go out and maybe even like meet up for a late night cocktail or something like that. Could be cute one time. It's never happened, but you know, in theory, it might. Um,
It's a good
uh,
idea.
it's a good idea, and
Yeah.
so we, I think, sending each other invites for that stuff, trying to be courteous in the mornings, trading off. I think if you get 3 to 4 days a week of like getting to go to the gym, getting to go on your runs, Sunday, I mean, Sunday, your runs are going to start being 2 hours, 3 hours. Like having that time is going to be really a lot to ask for with a toddler, with a, or, you know, with a 1 year old. And so,
Yeah, this split time works right now when the runs are 2 hours, right?
right.
But if they start getting to be much longer, which I'm sure they will as it goes, and there'll be peak marathon training, like, I'll probably have to go back to real dad hours on a Sunday for that to really
I think you
work.
might have to, because when you're talking about a 3.5 hour run, that's, if you start at 8, you're home at 11:30, now you're at nap time, like, that's the whole morning. That's tough to do. I am hesitant to admit this to everyone, but I am still edging competing in the New York City Marathon this year. I'm afraid of dad hours. I'm afraid of doing it again. The only time I've ever ran it, I did not have a child. Feels selfish, but I also kind of feel like maybe I want to do it one more time, so TBD.
Hey, it's possible with dad hours.
With dad hours. Dad hours are early, and today, so last night, I was at the apartment for by myself in totality, like no Robin, no Sadie, no Oakley, the first time I think ever, because I had to drive back to do some work at the studio today, and we're still up and down from the beach. So Robin stayed up at the beach with her best friend Jenna and all the kids and the dogs, and Bradley, the other dad, and I came back, and I was by myself, completely alone. Like, got home at 10:15, was like gonna go to bed. I'm like, I'm gonna wake up at 5:30. I'm gonna go to Chelsea Piers, go to the gym, like go run, go lift, and then I'm gonna go to work. It's gonna be such a productive day. Snooze, 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 snooze. Woke up at literally, I swear to God, 7:55. I had to be at work at 9, and I was like, well, sorry, dad hours, not happening for me. Um,
Hey, you just gotta try. You just keep trying.
do or do not.
Just keep trying.
That's what
Do
Yoda
or do
said.
not.
What time do you go to bed?
I cannot go to bed early. Like, I am incapable of doing so. So,
So
yeah,
what time?
I'm going to bed between 10 and 11 usually.
So you're going to bed at
And
11 p.m. and waking up at 4:30 a.m.
yes.
That's enough sleep for you to like have a productive day and not be like a zombie in your late meetings.
Um, yeah. Yeah, it has been. If you start to string these together, you will get more tired earlier. And so
Mm.
it does impact, but then, I still have trouble falling asleep in bed, at a normal hour. I do think though that like the things that really help me are um one, creatine.
Yeah,
Creatine is like
I've heard good things.
it's
I'll
a
tell you.
it's a
I'll tell you my creatine nightmare story later. Maybe off pod. You know where it's going. Sorry, keep going.
okay. There's a new study that came out that and sorry, I'm not a scientist. I didn't do this study, but um that they tested people who had a full night's sleep, people who were sleep deprived, and they measured brain activity with but between all these test subjects. Among the sleep deprived folks, they gave one half of them 15 grams of creatine, and they gave the other none. And the people that had 15 grams of creatine, their brain power matched those of the fully rested
15 grams of
support
creatine per day.
for that day. Like acute, it was an acute
How
test.
did they, can I ask a serious question?
Yeah.
How did they give someone 15 grams of creatine and test them, because those people would have been on the toilet shitting their brains out?
I don't get that. Do you get that?
That is
I've
like
never.
the number one effect of creatine is that, like,
What?
if you take too much of it, it causes like insane diarrhea.
Oh my God. Never happened to me. I'm
Well, let
having
me tell
like
you what.
on some of these,
The one time I tried creatine, I put it in my protein shake like it was a normal protein powder, and it did not end well.
oh
And I've
boy,
been afraid to go back. You're saying that that's not the case.
that has not been the case for me. I don't know what creatine you were having. Maybe it was some
It
weird
was Thorn.
compound.
It was like the number one
Oh yeah,
normal
that's
creatine.
yeah. Yikes. Not
Yikes.
sure.
Yikes
Maybe you're
indeed.
just maybe
Overshare.
you. But yeah, no.
It's
So like,
it's a very normal. I was on Reddit a lot about it, and I can tell you that it is a well documented effect of creatine that if you take too much too quick, it can give you a serious stomach issues. Not
interesting.
for a long time, but like for a couple of days.
Okay.
And
Well,
so
yeah,
you must have had to have to work up to 15 grams a day, is what I'm saying.
I was doing 5 grams a day consistently for like probably a year plus, like every day, in my
Okay.
coffee. And then I read this study, and now if I go to sleep between the hours of 10:30 or later, and then I wake up at 4:30, I will put 15 grams in my coffee when I wake up. And it's so far
Terrifying.
working like a
Terrifying.
working
You're
like a
just
charm.
dancing with the devil out there on those long runs, bud.
uh, but but yeah, no. So that's one thing. But I do think it's like, hey, if you're doing something active, lay out your clothes so that when you wake up and it's dark out, you don't have to think. You just grab your shorts, grab your shoes and your socks, and you're just like you can walk out the door without even thinking. Like do that the night before is key. And then have like a really good routine of like hydrate right when you wake up, get to the coffee right after, and I don't know, that's really helped me.
Do you
And
think you're a conscientious early morning partner? Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
is Emily
I
able to stay asleep when you wake up?
fully. Sometimes like I like to let her know when I'm leaving, just like with a little whisper because I don't want her to wake up and like be like, where the fuck is he?
I think that
Uh,
it's like a Gone Girl situation.
yeah, but yeah, I'm I don't turn the lights on. I just use the flashlight on my phone. I've got my kid picked out, the night before, so I don't
Is your
have to
phone
fumble
on
around.
sound alarm, or is it like a buzzing on your body situation? Like, how do you get her to not wake up from your alarm?
It's on
I'm
a
asking
light
for a friend,
sound.
me, because every time I do anything in our apartment, Robin's like, "You woke me up last night," and I'm like, "I'm so sorry, babe. I was being so quiet." And she's like, "You are literally a caveman."
It's on a light alarm, but I'm waking up because I've started to wake up at this hour, so, like, you just naturally, if you do it enough, you start to,
You
be more
program your
sensitive at
mind
that
that you're
time.
gonna wake
Yeah,
up at 4:30, and then you wake up at 4:30. I do think it's crazy how your body knows.
yeah,
That
but
happens
it
whenever I have an early
happens.
flight. I'm always like, "Oh my god, I need to wake up at 4:15," and I'm always up at 3:50.
Yeah, and this is I mean, like, the time of night where, like, Emily's in, like, her deepest sleep, right, is, like and so
Yeah.
I think she's not waking up, and then, yeah, the real winner is that I mean, and I was doing this before real dad hours anyway, but I'll go and make our coffee. We've got the Chemex automatic, so it creates this really nice pot of pour over coffee, and I'll put it in our, is a Fellow is the brand, one of these, to-go mugs with a
Mm,
really nice lid, and so I'll make her coffee with half and half and a little protein and a little bit of creatine in it, and I'll
wow.
close it up and put it on her nightstand so that
Dad
when
of the year.
she wakes up, it's, like, piping hot fresh right there even though it was made, like, a few hours before. And so that's like an every morning thing, whether it's real dad hours or not. But that's the type of thing. It's like I think it really helps. And um, when I first started training for the marathon, the hardest it was really hard to wake up that early, and so I was pushing it. I was getting back like a little bit after Lou wakes up. Now I'm like making sure that I'm back early enough so like, even if Lou wakes up earlier than normal, I'm there before it happens, so that she doesn't feel like the pressure that it's all on her to deal with him
Mm,
right when he wakes up. But
mm.
yeah,
Good dad.
this is
That's a good dad. That's a good
it's
dad move. Making
right.
coffee for the girl
It's
before
still
you head out on your run.
yeah. That's another thing for postpartum too.
Yeah.
If if your partner likes coffee.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Well, here's my dad thing of the week. We saw our second movie in a movie theater since we had a child.
ooh,
Second movie in 1.5
let's
years
go.
in a movie theater. By the way, I work in film and television. I love going to the movies. It's just impossible to do when you have a kid. I mean, it's not impossible if you're like really dedicated to it. I guess we're not that dedicated to it, but by the time you get a babysitter and you get the tickets and you get the thing, it's just it's been very tough. So we were able to go to the movie theater on Thursday night and see Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Not
Epic.
in 70 millimeter, not in IMAX, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
Cancel me, come for me, guys, it's fine. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was visually really impactful. I think that that's an amazing story, and it's super hard to tell in a short amount of time because it's like a really long book with a lot of parts. And there's so many amazing mythological characters and things that happen, and like there's no way that you can tell it all. And so what he chose to tell and the theme that he chose to tell it, I thought all of those things worked really nicely. Here's my takeaway from the Odyssey. Odysseus is a terrible father. Like one of the worst dads of all time. I mean, when you think about heroes, you want your heroes to be a good dad. And this dude literally just bounces for 20 years. And yeah, he wants to get back, kinda, but he doesn't really want to get back until he's like ready to go back because he dealt with all of his trauma. And that trauma is like irrelevant to the fact that you've got this kid at home who's like cool. Like he's played by Tom Holland, who's like a cool guy. You like want to get back to that kid. And meanwhile, you're just like chilling with Charlize Theron on some island eating a flower for 7 years. Like that is not an okay thing to do as a dad. That was my take on the Odyssey. I know you're going to go see it, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And I do recommend you go see the movie. I think it's really good. Shout out to Christopher Nolan. Before I get into this good dad, bad dad game that I want to play, because that inspired me to come up with a game that I want to play with you. I just am curious, your favorite Christopher Nolan movie of all time?
Oh boy. I think Inception.
Inception's a great one. It's a great one.
I,
There are
I
so
think
many
it's
bangers.
I think it's got to be Inception because like I'm just. I mean, oh shit. I mean, there's so many. Maybe we'll have to do like a
I
top
have an
10.
obvious answer that you're going to go, oh, but I
Okay.
do love
Okay.
Inception.
I
I
mean, I
think
love Inception.
I think the uncontested champion Christopher Nolan movie is The Dark Knight.
Oh wow. I would not have said that.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought you were gonna say Interstellar.
Interstellar's amazing. And so, by the way, Interstellar, best plane movie of all time. You cannot get on Delta and not watch Interstellar. It's like my buddy Varun turned me on to this, and he like did a bit on Instagram for years where like he would be on a plane and he would just take an Instagram photo of the fact that he was watching Interstellar on the plane, and I started doing it. Interstellar is A1 plane movie. There's Interstellar,
But
Crazy
you
Rich
can't watch
Asians.
Interstellar. You can't watch Interstellar for the first time on a plane. You have to like.
No, you got to watch it for real, but then you can
Yeah.
watch it every time. Anyway,
I saw Interstellar at Universal on
yeah,
the 70 millimeter IMAX, and holy shit! Like the
mind blowing.
sound, I mean, it was mind blowing. And
And then now try it with those little shitty earpods that Delta gives you on a tiny screen.
yeah,
Mind blowing.
yeah.
Mind fucking blowing.
I mean, I love Oppenheimer too. I mean, I know that's a recent, like
Great.
super recent, but like I
Memento.
loved Oppenheimer.
That's good.
Love Nolan movies. I think I'm gonna go see. This next week.
Yeah, it's good. I think you should. I think all the dads should see it, if only to learn how not to be such a bad dad. I want to play good dad, bad dad. Who are the best and worst dads of all time? I'll start. Best dad of all time. Bandit, Bluey's dad. You know me. You love this take. He is the ultimate father. There is no better father than him. He makes every other dad look bad, including myself. Greg Fass.
I will say LeBron James.
Ooh.
What other dad can get their son a guaranteed contract
On the Lakers.
on the Lakers and stay with the Lakers just long enough to get that guaranteed contract and then bounce? Great dad move.
Love it.
Best dad move ever. Horrible teammate move. Great dad move.
Setting
Great
up your
dad.
kids for success is a great dad move.
Yeah.
Worst dad of all time. I'm going with Abraham. As in the original Abraham. I mean, literally was ready to sacrifice his child for a voice that he was hearing. Could have been God. Could have just been something that got made up in his head. I'm not going to tell you what it was or who it was. And shout out to God if you're listening. But Abraham, bad dad. You cannot just like go pretend like you're going to let your kid die. Not a cool move as a dad.
Yeah. And my pick, my 1-1 bad dads has got to be Darth Vader.
Yeah. Bad dad.
And yeah, I mean, not only was he trying his entire existence to pull his son into evil, he also cut his hand off in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got child abuse, you've got emotional damage. Also, yeah, real just a bad dad, bad guy all around, really.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you one more great dad of all time. I don't think this is a contentious pick. Sandy Cohen, father of Seth, a legitimately excellent father, as played by and made famous by Peter Gallagher, who is, I assume, also a great dad if he has kids. And Sandy Cohen was just like always had a great lesson. He was always supportive of Seth. He took in Ryan off the streets from the wrong side of the tracks. Like, what an amazing dad move to let some kid who you don't really trust live in your pool house and then become his father figure. Sandy Cohen's an all-timer.
I mean, it's a great pick. I wish I would have thought of that one. Honorable mention, great dad, Adam Sandler. Similar to LeBron. I guess I'm really just prioritizing like dads.
You're just really into like into nepotism dads. Nepotism dads is Greg's pick. Great dad, Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch really set up those kids.
The guy from Succession. Horrible dad, but he got all of his kids' jobs. So, yeah, maybe Mufasa from The Lion King is a better pick.
Sure.
Than Adam Sandler.
Bad dad Scar. I mean, I guess maybe he didn't have kids.
Mufasa gone too soon, but
rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mufasa. Do you have one more bad dad?
Yeah, I can give you one. Tony Soprano. Love him as a character.
Did get a job for his kid, technically.
You know, that's true. Maybe I should change that based off of my personal definition of this game. But I think he taught a lot of bad lessons. Some good lessons, I guess, but a lot of bad lessons. And, pretty racist. He, was really controlling over his daughter. Obviously, there's all the murder and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
Bad dad, even worse husband, actually. So
bad husband, Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
On the same plane of existence, I would put Don Draper, equally as bad of a dad and husband. Great ad guy. I mean, he could pitch like nobody's business. And boy, could that guy wear a suit. I mean, let me tell you something else. Like, when we're going to talk about dad fashion in a little bit, and the only dad I want to be fashioned like is Don Draper. But as a father, he is not good.
Not good.
Hashtag
analysis.
Okay, let's talk about sports. You have something you want to talk about the sports?
Yeah, it's the World Cup's over, and it's
It
really
is.
sad. It's sad.
It ended.
I'm
It ended.
I'm so bummed. It was such a fun thing to have to watch, especially during a time of year for sports where there's just not a lot of sports
It's a
going
sports
on.
drought. It's a sports drought.
Yeah. So it gave us something to turn on that was really meaningful. And yeah, I'm very happy for Spain. My younger sister is dating a Spaniard,
Wow.
a hardcore Spanish fan, grew up in Galicia,
Wow.
Spain. And so, yeah, I didn't have like after the US was out, and my World Cup dreams were shattered. The next team was Spain for me, to support him, to support Adrian. He was very supportive of the Knicks, by the way,
Oh, nice.
throughout.
I like it.
Yeah. So
You
it's really
gotta,
cool. I got the
yeah,
Knicks, and then the next championship he got. So now it's all in the family now. But
love it.
yeah, I will say it's Argentina losing was a loss for dads, actually.
Interesting. Interesting point.
And in the entire knockout stage, which team, Jay Wolf, do you think had the most dads as players?
I'm gonna venture a guess that it's Argentina because we're talking
That's
about
correct.
Argentina right
That's
now.
correct. It was Argentina. Yeah. So
Wow.
so yeah, I know I had Spain, but Argentina actually the team with the most dads out of any team in the knockout stages, which is a lot of teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so them losing to Spain, who is actually the youngest team in the knockout stage, is a bad look for dads. You would think that dad strength would win, but in this scenario, the kids took it. So
The dads were chopped. They were the unks. They were the unks, and the young punks came in and chopped the unks. Everybody was living in that Timothy Chalamet commercial, just watching him in the front seat of a car talk or back seat of a car. Well, he was in the front seat of the car. Argentina with the most ads is a bad look to lose, and I was rooting for Argentina for two reasons. One is I put some money on them to win the World Cup, and so I wanted to win that money. And I have a bet. I have a not financial advice bet I'm going to share with you guys in a second. But the other reason is my great grandfather immigrated to the United States of America through Argentina. Now,
oh
according
wow,
to some family sources, it was not for long. They were only there for a few years before they made it to the States. But I feel some affinity to my patriarchal homeland
yeah,
of Argentina.
that's a legit tie. That's a legit tie.
I would say I deserve citizenship. I would say Leo and I should get drinks. I would say Argentina es mi país. So Argentina, if you're listening, what up? Somos amigos. And I'm sad that they lost. On the
I would like to actually invite anyone from the Argentina team to be a guest on the pod, actually,
this is a
'cause
formal
they're
invitation. This is a
yeah,
formal
they're
invitation
part
to
of the
any of the
dad club.
dads. Any dads on the Argentinian national team, please open invite to drop in on
Yeah,
the dad club.
I'd love to hear about what they did for their wives during postpartum and how they and how
They're like,
they
I make $100 million a year.
and
Cool, cool,
I'd
cool, cool,
also
cool,
love
cool.
to understand how they approach real dad hours. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, to
interesting,
get their
interesting,
physical activity. Yeah.
interesting. I do think professional athlete dads are rare. Like there are some really, really amazing dads who are also athletes. You already mentioned LeBron, who secured the bag for his child. I think there's probably a few other things you need to do. This sports drought is real, though. You know, like
Yeah.
we are in this weird period of summer where there is baseball. Let us not forget that there is baseball to watch. Boy, is there. But if you're not into like midsummer baseball, I put on the Yankee game the other day and like the pitcher from the Dodgers was called up from the Triple A's. And it's just like everybody's just kind of fluffing it. You know what I mean? Until you get to
Yeah.
September. Um, There's not really anything else to watch in terms of sports. There's some WNBA stuff if you're into that. I like the W. But there's not a lot of sports to watch, and it makes it tough.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an avid Mets fan. I watch most every game as long as it's not at like 10 a.m. and I'll be working usually on the West Coast during some of those earlier games. But like this is where we're at with sports. I was watching the Brewers and the Mets, and it was like the seventh inning, and the Brewers went up like 8-1 last
Yeah,
night.
not fun. Not fun.
And I just kept watching it because that's all the sports that I had. And I kept watching. And then the Mets
Like
scratched out.
you can watch this, or you can watch the Reds versus the Padres.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where we're at. It's depressing. I really hope the Mets turn it around. I actually, speaking of bets that that you lost, but that I will probably lose. I got a free $50 bet that I got when we were in Vegas, and I put it on the Mets to make the playoffs, $50 to win, I think $12.50. So
That's a big bet.
Maybe they win.
That's not impossible.
Oh.
In this period of no sports, I do think what's fun is to look at the futures, to think about, hey, what's coming down the pike. And so I do have a bet I want to share with the class. This is not sponsored by BetMGM or FanDuel or DraftKings, but it could be, guys. Just FYI. This is a bet I made a couple weeks ago when I was kind of like just trolling around my betting app. Robin's going to kill me just for the fact that I even said that I'd do that. I never do that. I never look at my betting app, but I was looking at it that day. And I thought, what would be fun? Actually, I saw an Instagram of somebody who had bet 4 futures to make like a couple $1,000,000, and they ended up winning it. And I was like, oh, that's a cool move. Like anytime you can put down $20 and maybe win $1 million, I think you should. Maybe 10 to 15 times.
Yeah.
And so I put a bet in. This is my bet. If you want to bet along with me, please feel free. Here's the bet. Alabama to win the national championship. They're not the number 1 favorite, but they always got a shot. Crimson Tide, Roll Tide.
No
the
shot.
Lions, the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl. Could happen. Jahmyr Gibbs, very good running back. Arizona to win the March Madness Final Four national championship. Shout out to Channing Frye, friend of the pod. I don't know. I met him a couple times. He's a nice dude. Went to Arizona. New York Knicks to win the finals. Back to back.
Book it. Book it.
Book it. This pays plus 4134300. Plus 4,134,300. That's the line on this bet. Alabama to win the Natty, the Lions to win the Super Bowl, Arizona to win the basketball, and the Knicks to win the finals. Pays plus 4 million. I put $25 down. It will pay out $1,033,600.
I mean, I'm going in on this with you just because I can't possibly sit here and
watch me win $1 million for $25
when I have this winning lottery ticket here. So I'll be putting that in, but rather I'm gonna need you to do it for me because I live in California.
Yeah, California. I got you. Cool.
But can I critique this a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I know where you're trying to get some really big odds here, but you don't need to go with like underdogs when you do a parlay this size, right? Like
sure.
Alabama to win the Natty is, I know it's Alabama, but I think everyone still looks at Alabama because their jerseys are the same. Like
there's nobody on that team.
I wouldn't do Alabama. Lions to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I like it.
I guess I mean they're a great team. They're a great team. It's just you're betting to like break what is like a curse almost with someone like the Lions.
What happened last year? 53 years.
No, that's true. I know. Look, I like it, and here's what I'll say too is that the thing about these massive parlays is that you should look at the time, and we would need to do this of like when each of these would happen. Obviously it's Alabama and the Lions, but like if you get Alabama and the Lions, they'll start to try to cash you out, and like you might be able to take out like $200,000 off of that just for 2 of them winning.
Okay, well,
right?
let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this for next week, and maybe we'll have a couple more realistic bets that are easy cash outs brought to you by probably no betting company because they don't want you to know all of this cool information that you can only find out on Dad Club. So make sure you tune into Dad Club next
Yeah.
week for Greg's picks.
Yeah.
Um,
This is college. We'll call this segment the college fund.
yeah, the college
Um,
fund. This is how you do it, guys.
yeah. If you have a problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
That's true. That's true. We should say that. Please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. This is not financial advice. Don't do as we do. Do whatever you want.
Yep. And have fun. Have fun with it.
Yeah,
It
mostly.
makes sports even more fun. Does Robin enjoy sports?
Robin loves sports. Robin's a huge sports fan. Robin likes to joke. So when we met, I was working at ESPN at the time, and I was like in such a sports overload mode. I had been working
Yeah.
at ESPN for a number of years. I was like so sick of it, and not sick of it. I was just like, I was really overloaded by sports. And I was like, we went on our first date and she's like, oh, like you work at ESPN. That's so cool. And I was like, honestly, I like don't even really like sports anymore. And she's like, what? And like, she had been so excited to like come to this date and talk to me about sports. And instead I kind of was just like, yeah, not really for me. Like I like soccer, but like, I'm not really into anything else. And at the time I wasn't even really a big basketball fan, as I've talked about before. Um, and then Robin came to find out that I watch every single Sunday. I watch NFL football for 9 to 12 hours a day. And I became an avid Knicks fan. She thought she was like introducing me to the Knicks. And then I just started consuming literally 82 games a year of Knicks basketball. And I will watch soccer every Saturday and Sunday morning. And she's like, literally,
Wow.
she'll wake up, she'll come down and like, it'll be 9:30 in the morning on a Saturday. I'll be watching some Premier League team that I don't even give a shit about. It'll be like Crystal Palace versus Fulham. And she'll be like, what? You don't like sports? And I'm like, well,
Wow.
it's Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Like, who knows? Could be fun. Uh, so, so all that
Yeah.
to say,
Okay.
she is a big sports fan, but I am an avid sports guy, and I like to put some money on the ponies from time to time. It does make it a little bit more
Yeah.
exciting if you're watching Crystal Palace versus Fulham, get a little action. I will say betting on soccer is hard because that draw is a tough. That's like the 00 in roulette. It gets you, man. Gets you.
Yeah. I mean, Emily grew up as a huge Warriors fan. So she is a big Warriors fan, her and her family, but she isn't really into baseball, wasn't ever really into football. And I think I've cracked the code for how to get her to like sports.
I think I know what the code is, but I want to hear your take on it.
So Emily loves Bravo. Okay. She loves Bravo and she loves reality TV. She
So you're
calls
like
them
Tristan Thompson knows this player.
she calls them documentaries, right?
That's
And
ridiculous. That's disgusting.
it's really funny. I mean, Jay, I thought you'd really appreciate that given your line of work.
I mean,
In a
shout
way
out to
they are
Bravo.
in a way they are kind of like documentaries.
I actually
But
think
we
that
don't
if you
have to-
look at them like documentaries, it makes it more impressive.
Yeah. Yes.
If you're like,
But anyway,
this person directed the Real Housewives of Orange County and got these deep insights from these people, yeah, I like it. Okay,
yeah.
I'm on board with Emily. Keep going.
So anyway, so tying it back to sports, we are now getting lots of great sports documentaries
Docuseries, yeah.
that aren't about really what goes on the field. They show it, but it's more about like the stories of the players and like their upbringings and what their parents were like and where they went to high school and like what their motivations are as human beings throughout this whole
Totally.
process. And like it's the human element behind the actual sports that Emily actually gets really invested in. When she knows those stories, then she cares a lot more about what actually happens on the field. So
Yeah.
the gateway drug for her has been reality TV, documentary style sports content that I shit you not, over the past couple of seasons, I've been seeding this. Guess what happened last night?
No, I couldn't tell you.
I'm slicing pork tenderloin that we just made. Lou is asleep, and Emily goes, "Ooh, Greg, guess what? The new quarterback series just came out on Netflix, and now she wants to watch the quarterback on
It's epic.
Netflix."
Epic.
And I am just so excited. I'm like, she's gonna learn about Baker Mayfield and
Yeah, no wonder
his
your favorite
journey.
movie is Inception. It makes total sense.
and
You're
she's
like, I
learning
watched
about
Inception as a documentary, motherfuckers.
and now like she's watched quarterback 2 seasons now. We've watched quarterback.
It's good.
And
It's good.
as these seasons go by, she's soon going to know every quarterback in the league, because you're going to have there's only 32. We've
Sure.
already gone through 8 to 12 of them, because there's some backups and other guys that you see throughout the show. And every time she knows a new player, that means there's one more person. When I'm watching Red Zone for 10 hours on Sunday, I'll be like, and look, it's Baker. You remember blah, blah, blah. And she'll be like, oh, like I forget that I'm mad at you for just sitting here for
You're like,
this
Kirk
long.
Cousins is there. He's on the bench.
Yes, exactly. She thinks Kirk Cousins is very funny for
He's a great
lot of
man.
reasons.
He's a very nice human being. He seems like a great dad. I can put Kirk Cousins
he
in
seems
the Great
like
Dad Awards.
He seems like a great dad. Yeah. So did if you haven't watched it, one of the quarterbacks this year is Joe Flacco, and
oh man,
Joe Flacco seems like
I'm a
Joe Flacco seems like a great dad too.
I think he's a great. I mean, he's, first of all, let's just settle it right here, elite. And second of all, like he is. I'm obsessed with the comeback, the whole nine. Like I love Flacco, and seems like he's a good dad for sure. That's a great move. I thought you were gonna go there. I think the sports doc specifically is a great way to do it. That's how I got Robin into Manchester City, which is my Premier League team. Has been since way before the oil money. Just for the record, for everybody, my dad brought me a Man City jersey back from England when I wanted the Man U jersey. The oil was just a kicker. Then I was like, oh shit, we got a good team now. That's awesome. But we watched the Amazon All or Nothing on Man City, and then when I would put on soccer, she'd be like, oh, I love Gabby, or I love these guys. And now she's like always looking for Gabriel Jesus, who is a Brazilian player who was on Man City for a number of years. He's on Arsenal now, and like we were watching the World Cup. She's like, "Where's Gabby?" I'm like, I think he's on the bench. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, well, you just have a thing for Gabby. I think he's a very attractive dude. I get it.
Yeah.
But I do think that knowing the story behind the players is great, and having worked in some sports docuseries so far, and hopefully some more of it soon. Like, I love making those types of projects, because it's like you get to know these people, and they're so impressive in so many ways. I often find sports as one arena for it, but also just people who are at the pinnacle of whatever they do. The stories of the human beings who prove to other humans that you are capable of so much more are so impactful and so empowering. And so I'm obsessed with any kind of doc that's like following somebody who did something or does something at the top of their field, because it helps you realize that like you too have that capacity. You just got to like get up in the dad hours and like put in the extra grind and believe that you can do it. And if you believe that you can do it, and this is a new thing that I'm on, this new kick, I wasn't going to talk about it this week, but very into manifestation recently. And I think that like, if you really do believe that you can do it, it will be done.
I love that.
So that's my philosophy of the week.
Please, Jay, for me and for all of the dads out there, please continue to make sports documentaries, because you have no idea the impact that it's having across the nation.
All the dads,
for guys like us who now have the way to break their wives into sports in a way that it's truly, what you're doing cannot be understated, the value it has. Please keep doing it. Keep manifesting more documentaries for us.
I'm manifesting them. I'm trying to get you guys more. I'm trying to get us as deep as possible.
Hot tip for all dads out there: reality TV is the gateway. Sports documentaries, do it. Okay, now back to Jay Wolf.
I love it. No, I think it's your turn. I think you wanted to talk to me about some fits that you've been getting off recently.
So if you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, it's okay. But if you do, you have probably seen me doing quite a few dad outfits. It's kind of like the thing I've been doing is that as a 36-year-old dad, I'm trying to show other dads that you can still have cool style and you don't have to just give up, right? And so um every day I film a dad fit video. Every single day. When I wake up, after I shower, I
It's
get dressed,
wild.
I film the video. It
It's
doesn't take
wild.
long. It takes 15 minutes, maybe max, to shoot it and edit it now because I've got it down to a science and I don't have to think as much about it. Um, and as I've gotten bigger, which has been really cool, I've been getting some really funny negative comments. And
Love it.
I love responding to
Love
negative
it.
comments, but
Love it.
but one stood out to me as worthwhile to talk about on this podcast because someone just said on a recent one, and I quote, "Jeans and a white T-shirt. Thanks, man." Here I am getting messages from some people on these apps saying like, "Thank you so much for what you're doing. You're inspiring me to dress better." And then I've got people like this who their name is user number 343,757,831,550.
Which is how much money you'll make if you do the parlay that I just told you about.
Exactly. And I think at first I was like, oh, fuck this guy. Which, yeah, still fuck this guy. But then I'm like, wait, isn't this kind of the point, right? Like, isn't the point of me doing this showing that, hey, it's really, it can be fairly easy to present well with your clothes, right?
Yeah.
And I think why I'm saying it's the point is like as a dad, a lot of times it has to be super simple and easy. Like jeans and a t-shirt can totally be a great outfit. It's just there's nuance in how you put it together. So yeah, I think this is a what I want to do is just make sure all the dads listening to this know that you can totally just wear jeans, t-shirt, and sneakers. It's which ones you're wearing. The right t-shirt, does it fit you the right way? Is the right length? Is the collar not all stretched out? The jeans, are they the right length for you? Like, are they dragging on the ground? Are they too short? Is the the cut of them not flattering for you? Like, there's so many things that you can think about on the nuance of even just the simplest fit that makes it work. And if you don't believe me, just look at like any like male movie star celebrity. You see them walking around. They're not wearing some like insane complicated outfit. They're usually just wearing a t-shirt and like jeans, and it looks great because they have it
because they have a
it fits.
sick ass watch on.
Yeah, they have a great watch. And I actually have gotten some funny comments about that too. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's a simple fit. All I have to do is just go down to the Walgreens and get myself a Rolex Datejust." But
that's all you need, dude.
Yeah, but it's
you went and got a Tdap and a Datejust at the same time. Strong.
But no, it's look, especially during the summer, like the options are limited. It's hot, but wear a t-shirt and jeans that fit well, right? Like don't skimp out on that, and it will go a long way, and you'll be really happy, and your partner will be really happy too. So
there's one other thing.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, do your shout out.
No, I was just gonna shout out this user number 343 billion million zillion on TikTok. But thank you for commenting. Please keep engaging with my content so it gets shown to more
There's
people.
one other thing you can do to have an ultimate dad fit, and actually none of you can do it yet, but you will maybe be able to do it soon, and that's get the limited edition Dad Club hat. We made hats for Dad Club. They say Dad Club on them. Or if you're listening to this, you can't see us, but we both just put them on. So this is a hat that we made that maybe one day you might be able to acquire through internet purchases. Not yet. So you can maybe look on StockX, you freaking poser. Okay. I'm
gonna keep
Dad of the week. Yeah, keep yours on.
Dad of the week. Dad of the week.
Dad of the week. Yeah, shout out. This is something that we're gonna start doing more. We did it, I think, week 1, but Every week from now on, we're going to nominate the dad of the week. This week's dad is Beach Dad. This is a dad I saw this week. Beach Dad, here's the deal with Beach Dad, especially when you're up in the Hamptons. There is no parking at the beaches unless you've got a parking pass, and at some of the beaches, you still can't park there. So what does Beach Dad have to do? Beach Dad has to do what we call the shuttle. What does that look like? Let's get all the kids in the car. Let's get as much equipment in the car as we possibly can. Let's get our wife in the car. Let's get a nanny in the car, what have you. Then we drive it all down to the beach. We unload it. We start setting it up. You got umbrellas. You got chairs. You got coolers. You got tents. You got beers. You got pails. You got buckets. You got floaties. Did it all fit in the car one way? Probably not. Drive back to the house. Load it back up. Drive it back down to the beach. Beach Dad is there, right? Beach Dad is doing all of this while the wife in the situation, the nanny in the situation, all of the above feel like they're the ones who are doing all the work. Meanwhile, Beach Dad is lugging hundreds of pounds of objects to the beach. By the time Beach Dad parks the car, gets back to the beach, gets everything set up, it's time for a tantrum. It's time. It's just going to happen. Child 1, 2, 3, 5 are going to have an explosion, and it's up to Beach Dad to mitigate that explosion, or else guess what? Everybody get back in the car. So shout out to Beach Dad, a dad I saw this week who is doing the most.
Can I say, going to the beach, unless you go to the beach all the time, it's such a hassle. Like, is it even worth it unless you like are really good at going to the beach? Like, it takes a skill to go to the beach well, I think, right?
Mm.
And it takes a lot of repetition because like you start to realize like what you actually need and what you don't, right? Because all those trips you're talking about, like I I I would say you probably don't need most of the things, right? Like, and you only know that by going to the beach a lot because if you don't go to the beach a lot, you're packing all these things. You're like, well, what if we want this? What if we need this? And so I think, yeah, it takes practice to be beach dad. I would say the more you do beach, the easier beach becomes. Would be something I'd say as someone who lives fairly close to the beach.
I would say this to you in response. You don't know what you're in for. You've got an 11-month-old kid. Like, you
Yeah,
don't
true.
understand yet the things
100%.
that you will need. Because if you don't have 19 juice boxes and 55 bags of chips and at least 4 beers for yourself and an umbrella because it's too hot and a bucket and another bucket because they lost their bucket and another shovel, I'm telling you, bro, it compounds, it compounds and compounds. And at a certain point, you think you don't need all this gear. I see dads on the beach sometimes who have like built literal like pergolas. Like these guys have there are these like pop-up pergolas now that are just like
Yeah.
entire systems. Like you built, it's like these guys are at fucking Burning Man on the beach, like for 4 hours. And it's so impressive. But I think ultimately when you've got toddlers, and especially if you have multiple, you need a lot of gear.
That's true.
So you practiced beach dad, LA guy, West Side, surfer boy. Good for you. Good, mazel tov. But let me tell you something. You come calling in 7 months. Let me know how it is. Let me know how easy it is when you take Lou to the beach.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. I'll be eating my words, I'm sure, at some point. But I do fully plan on getting Lou to be a surf kid, or at least like giving him the tools to become a surf kid if he wants to pursue that. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, no, beaches, I will say this. I feel like the US needs more organized beaches for us dads.
More organized? What do you mean?
Organized beach. Have you ever heard of an organized beach?
I don't know
No?
what this is.
So an organized beach, they're big in Europe. I'm sure you've seen them. Organized beaches are when you show up to a beach and there are chairs and umbrellas out there for you as the public to go and use, right? That they
Like
put
a
out. And
hotel
that's
beach, but essentially there's no hotel.
exactly. Exactly. That is an
Okay.
organized beach. And imagine if you could show up to the beach and the umbrella was already there, the chairs are already out. You don't have to bring the umbrella, you don't have to bring the chairs. There's, someone that could bring you food and drink. And to me, that is a huge missing piece to every US beach. I think we need more organized beaches. at least for us dads. Help beach dad out, organize beaches, bring them here.
Um, I like it. I want to interrupt this beach talk with some breaking news, some Dad Club
Oh,
breaking news. Ding, ding, ding,
oh,
ding, ding. Breaking news from Dad Club. I just received a text from my wife that says, like I said, I'm in New York. My wife and the other kids and the other wives are back at the house in the Hamptons. What did you use to unlock the bathroom door? One of the kids locked himself in our bathroom.
oh no.
Here's the deal with this house. There is this crazy armoire like in the kitchen that holds all the plates and stuff like that. I guess it's not called an armoire, whatever you would call it. And it has 95 small drawers. Okay. Like
Yeah.
not kidding, 95 of them. Little teeny drawers. In one of those drawers is tools. Could I tell you which drawer that is? Absolutely. The third down from the left on the fourth from the top. Like, I don't know how I would even describe where the tool is. And then the tool is, it's like a hex key, like one of those little L hex keys. If you're a dad, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a mom and
Yeah,
I say,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, one of those little L hex keys, you're going to look at me like I've got 9 heads. And that's how you do it, is you have to get the L hex key, the smallest one, put it in the little hole in the door, and then like jimmy the lock to unlock it. The chances that this happens before I get on the phone with my wife before this podcast ends,
Do
I
you
would
want to
put
call?
I would put your money on it. No.
Do
We're
you
finishing
want
this
to?
show. We are finishing the show until I get a phone call. I'm just
Okay.
saying. I'm just saying. This is breaking news. Dads need to unlock bathroom doors. There's no dads present at this house. I am 3 hours away. Let's see what happens.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right, you want to do your new segment?
Yeah. So in that case, let's move on to the next thing. We have a new segment. Jay alluded to this earlier in the show. But if you're a sports fan, which you probably are if you're listening still, because we talk about sports probably too much for a dad podcast. But if you know, if you're a sports fan, you know that the league will typically review all the plays and the games like the day after it happens, and then they'll actually make some corrections after the fact if the stats during the game were wrong. And these are called stat corrections. And this actually really comes into play if you ever played fantasy football. Like this is where I learned about stat corrections, because if you ever lose by like a very slim margin, you're all over the stat corrections on that Monday, like praying that there was 1 yard that was miscounted and that you actually do get the win. And it can decide a matchup. I've seen that happen before. But yeah, as we normally like to do, we're making everything sports analogies here. So this segment is called Stat Corrections. It's a new segment we'll do every week where people in our lives, mainly, our moms and our wives probably. Jay, I didn't realize that your mom wasn't listening to the podcast, so it probably won't be that. But
No,
at least our
my mom is
wives.
definitely not correcting stats. My mom is
Okay.
what is? She's like, where are podcasts? I thought you made television. Can you do better?
Okay. Well, yeah. So we're gonna each. This is actually just a ploy to get them to listen to the show as soon as it comes out. But yeah. So they'll listen to the show, and then they will text us everything that we got wrong about our lives, things that we misremembered about our youth from my mom, things that Jay and I just misremember about things that happened 6 months ago. But yes, we get a lot wrong, as do most dads, in how we remember certain things. So that's what this segment is. It's stat corrections. Welcome to stat corrections.
Welcome to stat corrections. All right, first stat correction comes from who? From your mom?
Yeah. So this she sent a few in, but I'm going to do one that I thought was the most correction of all. In a really early episode, we talked about TV and like screens with kids. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I told a story about how my mom put the TV on when she was watching Lou one morning when she was staying with us, so that she could drink her coffee in peace. And that was not super accurate in what actually happened. So my mom sent me, hey, just for the record, I didn't turn the TV on in the morning just to drink my coffee in peace. I was watching Lou, who was up early because he had a double ear infection and he was pretty miserable and wouldn't settle down. Minor detail, you left out the story. You make me sound like I just sit him in front of the TV all the time. 3 exclamation marks.
Mom.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I know that he had the ear infections. I didn't remember that in the time when we were talking about this. And yes, I know you would never have just put it on for yourself. But yeah, sorry, Mom. I'll do better. Maybe.
Okay, I have a stat correction. All my stat corrections are from episode 104 of Dad Club, our last week's episode, because Robin only gave me corrections from last week. But let me start with Robin wants to go on record. She did not say that we couldn't pack a go bag. In fact,
Really?
which was a big point of contention, because I don't know if you didn't listen to last week's episode. Essentially, what I was saying was that I really wanted to prepare to go to the hospital. Robin was like, "Don't do it. I don't want to prepare. Like, don't pack me a bag. Don't touch my shit." According to Robin, not only did we have a go bag packed, we had our go bags packed and in the car for weeks before we went to the hospital. Our car, which was sitting out front of the house because I was too afraid to put it in the garage because the garage was closed between 11:30 and 6:30 in the morning, and I was worried about the middle of the night. So we had the car on the street, our go bags in the car for literal weeks before we went to the hospital. Stat correction.
That is such a funny one. Because I remember when you said that, I was like, really? Like you couldn't pack a bag?
I
that makes
remember
a lot
not
more
being
sense.
able to pack a bag. For the record, I do feel like it was still late for me. It may have been early for Robin, but we did have bags at the hospital. So,
with this now being the Inception episode, maybe you just dreamt this go bag thing.
Maybe she's incepting me that we had it, and I did pack it that day.
Okay, another stat correction. This was also from last episode about the Tdap. If you remember, if you listened, I showed up to the hospital on the day of birth without the Tdap shot. And you actually asked me, was she pissed? And I said, oh yeah. But Emily texted me to let me know she wasn't pissed about the Tdap. And I had gotten that wrong. She just said in the moment, and I remember this very clearly now, that now she has something she can hold over my head forever since I dropped the ball so hard. and I may have taken it as that meant she was upset. But yeah, in the moment, she actually was laughing at me for not doing this. She mentioned this is the perfect juxtaposition of male to female responsibility for giving birth, and how besides having sex and getting the Tdap, there really isn't much else to do. And also, it was a CVS, not a Walgreens. So
I love that. I love that she's like, by the way, you don't even know where the fuck you went, you idiot.
They're interchangeable. They're interchangeable.
Stat
I'm
corrections.
sorry.
I can't wait to see what she stat corrects next week.
I definitely messed some shit up this episode, I'm sure, that I will hear about. And I bet you it'll be things I'm not even thinking about right now. So,
yeah. Well, before we end, I do have good news. Oliver, the child locked in what I thought was a bathroom, turned out to be a bedroom. So stat correction on myself. He was locked in a bedroom. He got out. So all clear.
Great.
You guys can rest easy. Okay. I think that's it for this week of Dad Club. How you feel? Good?
Yeah, I feel great.
Good. Yeah. I feel like we dadded it. We dadded it up.
We dadded our eyes.
That's something that you did.
This happens to you. This happens to you when you become a dad. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Why did I just say we would dad our eyes?
You can only hope to contain it. Please tell all your dad friends and moms and other friends who don't have children yet, but maybe one day want to or don't, whatever, to sound the alarm. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Greg is at Dad's Got a Dad. He will show you how to wear a white t-shirt and jeans like nobody's business. I'm the wolf. I'll probably just post clips from our podcast and maybe some cute photos of Sadie. And we'll see you back here next week. Hey, by the way, we are thinking about maybe having some guests on Dad Club.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys think about that. You guys have been so prolific at emailing us and letting us know how you feel.
I know.
Let us know.
You're so active and vocal.
Really active in the comments, which we appreciate. So let us know how you feel and if you have any guests that you think would make great guests on Dad Club, besides obviously the entirety of the Argentinian national team, who we are already booking. But other thoughts on Dad Club guests, let us know if you have any ideas.
Cool.
Go Dads.
Go Dads.
Love you
Go
guys.
Dads.
Bye.
Bye.